Hi, my name is SYAFIQAH and I'll be presenting the introduction part. So, what exactly is renewable energy? Renewable energy are the energy that derives from natural sources. So, unlike fossil fuel, renewable energy are more sustainable and they have a less impact on the environment. Examples of renewable energy would be solar energy, wind energy, um, geothermal energy, biomass energy, and hydropower. So you might be wondering, why do we need these energies? So the world is shifting into a more healthier ecosystem. They wanted to reduce pollution and also lessen the environmental damage. So this energy helps in lessening carbon emissions. It helps us improving our air quality and provides a healthier ecosystem. So it's not just an environmental solution. Renewable energy helps economically. For example, it helps by creating a new job. It also helps by reducing our dependency on imported fuel and also helps us by lowering the price of the fuels, because when we have it as a common fuel, you wouldn't need to pay a lot to have them. So renewable energy helps us environmentally and also economically. So let's move on into the explanation of relevant electricity and magnetism concepts. We have six of them. The first one is electromagnetic induction, which is the Faraday's law. So we all know when a magnet moves near a coil of wire, it produces an electric current. Why does it matter? Well, almost all of these renewable energy generators, like wind turbines and hydroelectric generators, they use this principle. Number two is magnetic field. Well, again, all of these renewable energy generators, they have magnet inside. Well, what does magnet produce? It produces magnetic field. So here are some key points. Well, if there's a change in these magnetic field, it means there's electricity being produced. But if you see there's a constant in this magnetic field, it means there's no electricity being produced. Then we have the AC, which is the alternating current. So how do we produce AC? Well, naturally, wind turbines, they produces AC, which is the changing current. So what produces DC? Photovoltaic effect, which is a special case for solar panels. Solar panels are not like the others. They do not use electromagnetic induction, which is the Faraday's law. So what happened? The light, which is the photons, they hit a semiconductor, and then the electrons are charged and they have energy, and then the electricity is produced. But since it is a direct hit on the solar panels, they produces DC, which is direct current. So direct current to alternating current, it needs to be converted. What do we use? We use inverter. And then we have the storage, energy storage. So batteries, just like its name, it stores the renewable energy basically until we need to use them. And then we have transformers. So it helps in managing the voltage for efficient transmission.
Now, we are going to look detail on how renewable energy works. For solar energy, solar panels contain photovoltaic cells that capture sunlight, and when photons hit these cells, they release electrons that create an electric current. The electricity produced by the PV cells is indirect current, which is then converted to alternating current, so it can be used in homes, businesses, or sent to the power grid. Other than that, mounting and tracking systems are also used to position the panels in a way that maximizes exposure to sunlight throughout the day, increasing efficiency. Any excess electricity can be stored in batteries for later use, making solar energy available even when the sun is not shining. For wind energy, wind turbines capture the kinetic energy of moving air, which causes the turbine blades to rotate. The rotation of the blades turns a shaft connected to a gearbox and generator, converting the mechanical energy into electrical energy. The generated electricity is then transmitted through power lines in the grid or directly to local consumers. That is why turbine towers are built high above the ground to access stronger, more consistent wind currents, improving overall energy production. Hydropowers uses kinetic energy of flowing or falling water to turn turbines that are connected to generators. As the turbines rotate, mechanical energy is transferred to the generator, which converts it into electrical energy. The electricity produced is sent through transmission lines to homes, industries, and businesses. In some systems, pump hydro storage allows water to be pumped into a higher reservoir during low energy demand, so it can flow back down and generate electricity when demand is higher.
Example of real-world implementations. Solar power. Solar energy is used through larger solar farms and rooftop solar panel. The radiant energy from the sun harnessed to generate electricity or heat. Solar energy is energy that comes from the sun. It is captured using solar panels, which convert sunlight into electricity. Solar energy is renewable, clean, and does not produce pollution. It is commonly used to power homes, buildings, and even small devices. Because sunlight is available every day, solar energy is one of the most sustainable energy sources. For the second one, it is wind energy. Wind energy is generated using wind turbines. It has been used by humans for centuries for tasks like sailing and pumping water. Wind energy is produced by using the natural movement of air to generate power. When the wind turns the blade of a wind turbine, the turbine creates electricity. It is a sustainable energy source that helps reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Wind energy is often used in wide open areas or offshore locations where strong winds are common. And for the last one, we have hydropower, a renewable energy source that generates electricity by using the force of moving or falling water to spin turbines connected to generators. Hydropower is energy generated from moving water. Dams or flowing river drive turbines, which then produce electricity. It is a reliable, renewable energy source because water is constantly moving through the natural water cycle. Hydropower is commonly used to supply electricity to larger communities and can provide steady, continuous flow. Potential benefits of renewable energy. First, improve public health. Renewable energy produces little to no air pollution. When we use more solar, wind, and hydropower, the air becomes cleaner. This reduces health problems such as asthma, lung disease, and heart issues. As a result, communities enjoy better overall health. Second, more jobs and robust local economies. Renewable energy industries create many job opportunities, especially in manufacturing, installation, and maintenance of solar panel and wind turbines. These jobs help boost local economies because they support local workers, businesses, and long-term economic growth. Third, inexhaustible energy source. Renewable energy comes from natural resources such as the sun, wind, and water. These sources will not run out, unlike fossil fuels. This makes renewable energy highly sustainable and reliable for future generations. Fourth, stable and less costly energy prices. Once renewable energy are built, the cost of generating electricity becomes low and predictable because sunlight, wind, and water are free. Renewable energy helps avoid sudden increases in electricity prices. This creates more stable and affordable energy costs over time. For the challenges of renewable energy, first, the high initial cost of installation. Even though renewable energy is cheap to maintain, the cost to install solar panels, wind turbines, or hydropower system is very high. This makes it difficult for some countries, companies, or households to start using renewable energy. Second, lack of infrastructure. Many places do not have the proper system or technology to support renewable energy. For example, the electrical grid may not be designed to handle energy from solar or wind sources. Without proper infrastructure, renewable energy cannot work effectively. Third, lack of knowledge and awareness. Some communities or individuals do not fully understand how renewable energy works or how it can benefit them. This lack of awareness can slow down the adoption of renewable energy because people may be hesitant to use new technology. And the last one, power storage. Renewable energy often depends on natural conditions. Solar power needs sunlight and wind power needs strong wind. When these sources are not available, energy production drops. Because of this, effective energy storage systems like large batteries are needed, but they are still expensive and limited.
Now I'll present to you about future benefits and challenges. For benefit, the first one is we can reduce greenhouse gas emission. By using solar, wind and hydro, it can reduce carbon dioxide and slows climate changes. World can become more cleaner as technology improves. The second one is lower long-term energy costs. Future operational costs will be very low and energy from sun and wind will be free once the system is built. The third one is energy independence. Countries that rely on imported oil and gas can rely less on them as there are new energy sources available. Future nations also can become self-sufficient by generating their own clean energy. The last one is job creations and new industries. Renewable energy will create millions of new jobs such as engineering, manufacturing, and maintenance, etc. It will also give work opportunity to those who are unfortunate. The creation of new industries will grow rapidly as there are new sectors for people to work on. Next, we move to the future challenges of renewable energy sources. The first one is high initial cost. It involves high investment and provision to afford the system. The system includes solar farms, offshore wind farms, and large batteries, as it requires a lot of fund and it's not easy to install it. Developing countries may struggle to afford them as it is expensive. The second one is land use and environmental impact. Systems such as solar and wind farms require a lot of land that small countries might have struggled with it. Animals and rivers can also be disrupted. For example, wind turbines can affect the birds, and hydro dams can disrupt the rivers. Lastly is the recycling problems. Materials such as battery and solar panel are difficult to recycle, and future waste management will need to handle an abundance of waste as the system need constant repairing. So, in conclusion, electricity and magnetism are key to make modern technologies possible. Real application prove its usefulness and efficiency. Despite certain challenges, with further improvement, it will continue to make the technology more advanced and effective in the future. Overall, this shows how the concept can help to shape better technologies for the future.